they exist. They exist.
Oh, wait.
That's why anybody likes to.
Oh, yeah, how was school?
Or careers like careers because of so and so. And they have these interesting internet cafes.
5-day weekend. Yeah, I mean, I have the one.
So I believe the people is the max capacity for this game.
Can we go ahead and
Yeah.
have the word?
What do you plug in?
So this read out to the
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, I heard all those. I can't say so, I don't remember.
I'm slowly getting to gaming for studio. And just recently got a
Well, that's exciting. Well, let me know when you're like free, finding out. I mean, that was my part. Yeah.
support from other users.
last year. My friends approached me saying, hey, you can program on the side, right? I'm programming here. Okay, yeah, can you help me make this game?
Well, when would you do that?
For free.
Alright, come back when you have video game.
Yeah, you can this weekend.
Okay.
I mean, it's football Saturday, so I'll be watching college.
And then I'll help you. And then I didn't think much of it because those freaking video game proposals was like 10, 20 pages long. Sure enough, he came back to me a week later. Here's
That's always a bad
I
thing.
open it. It's all there, all the details.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, I'm gonna go you to the word. Now you're good.
Is it the afternoon?
Yeah.
Or
Didn't say that.
Do you know much about?
we could do brunch on Sunday.
Which mean? Oh, of course. Of course.
That'd be
And I
fun.
could relearn it if necessary.
Come by, see the apartment. I'm not doing anything for Labor Day. We could do Monday brunch. We could do Monday brunch.
It could get complicated.
What is next week?
The
3D.
Oh, I'll be on campus. So, come say hi to the homes and stuff. I'm almost there. I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, and the whole week for 2 days.
But man, that's leverage saying that anything I need to learn, no matter how complicated, I could learn quickly.
Yeah, well, you can
So,
come by.
on the site that
Say hi.
when it comes to vectors,
So-
I will have to relearn. But if you're working with something like Unreal, I get like an environment to test out things. Always.
Well, if you want, I can help you with that.
Because then I can
If
see
you'd like.
it's still a way
Cause-
So,
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm doing Monday brunch, so you can
try and create a platform.
have lunch, and then after we eat, we can work through some
I
apps
understand that
and
without gravity,
recruiting strategies.
flies off into space forever.
Yeah, or go to brunch and
Because I'm right here, gravity for my 2 weeks, right? So I'm less hated. And then when my jumps go have some hate was where I can never come back down. It's like, you know what? Maybe I do need a gravitational constant.
And now you're like,
see multiple things.
figure something out, but
You know,
kind of,
as sleep goes down.
very soon, because I'm at
what did you use?
metalworking.
In high school, I was just using Java.
Yeah, no, I was gonna wait till this weekend to text you, because I figured it have to be a stressful week, but.
Something.
Well, I assume this week you've just been on part time.
To see.
Then have a reason.
You're.
Or if you know,
No.
That's where it started.
It's like.
Are you a five forever? Are you a five forever?
Animation versus animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe I can plan for it.
maybe.
I was trying to
I have no idea,
They just know.
but I do know that I gotta eat, so. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.
I think so.
Forgive me for, does that account sticker
Yeah.
you have on there? Are you?
No, if you were.
Okay, I was, Friday,
Yeah, yeah.
I showed you around the VR
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, what was your name again?
Jeff.
Jeff? Corey.
Right.
It'd be nice
Yeah,
to get myself.
we're both country. Cool. I was like, you look familiar, and I was like trying to run it back, and then I calculated and it all came.
So I have this in my resume.
Okay, much of that.
You can come to the
Cool.
meetings.
You have a pretty big turnout from UC.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised considering it's like before school started, but, yeah, I'm gonna be on campus next week for a bunch of the different recruiting events, and I just know it's gonna be absolutely crazy. So,
It's a family.
a lot of UT students wanna come work for us.
Yeah.
The Sonic Banking Expo. That's all online. Yeah, it's a Sonic Banking. And Sonic Banking Expo. Where every year, you know, people submit whatever.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is Zach.
Hey, Zach, just to let you know.
Zach, yeah, he also,
It doesn't do much.
It's an online.
also works at Mopac office like me, so.
They do it every year.
And we were just talking about how, I don't know if you know, the girl named Sarah has been working out of the Jordan office all week. We've been saying how jealous we are that she's been there all week and stuff at the Mopac office.
We didn't move that space. Yeah, we just rigged up the whole upstairs there and give a new like lounge and demo space for showing off stuff.
Way more fun
But
than
it's falling apart.
corporate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not the school of design.
Yeah,
Some more attractive environments.
that's an understatement. That's being very kind to us, but it's all right. We can't all have nice working.
You better make it perfect because you can't change all the time. This is.
What?
That was the
What?
last straw out of like a series of meetings.
You think I would leave home without my charger?
But yeah, you're just saying.
I want to turn off the background music or I want to turn off the sound effects. You can turn off the sound effects, no problem. But just turning off the background was.
Yeah, I have.
I guess you can let it in. Stop it.
It's an open source. That's a problem. It's an open source engine, but nowhere.
Oh, yeah? No, try both. And if not,
So they're waiting for you to put it there. This engine has no connotation anywhere. Where there's any
How about now?
connotations. It was made by one guy. And he doesn't want to talk anymore. This is. So that's why I said go to gaming. And so now I'm learning gaming studio now how to relearn going to writing game. It's like man had the writing stuff ample. It was just the other things that were supposed to manage. Like there's no native control. Just originally the opening my computer to use another program like signing on to transfer explicit files to yeah, right.
I almost got this one exactly right.
You're presenting.
Probably.
What's that? You're presenting.
Brandon here is presenting, but we'll start in a couple minutes here. If you do have your computers, I recommend following along because we'll have to do some hands-on stuff. Are you using it?
I'm not gonna use it,
Also, if someone wants a laptop for the meetup, use this. We're good. Thank you. Yeah. Should be up and running, ready to go. should be faster buttons. Those might not work.
Oh, no.
They might, we can try it, see if they're all plugged in or not. Oh. Okay, yeah.
I've seen that.
Maybe distribution that's. No. You're on the CDP distro list, the CDP friends of CDP distro list. Go away with the start inviting to happy hours. Like more senior. Just does that. Inactive stalkers. Okay, that's really the drama. We were talking about me getting staff. You're talking about the Delta computers out there?
Yeah. I didn't know.
So, you know how Sarah had that call about the Delta? That and the, the ones that Amy was like, and I had a call with her tomorrow.
Yeah.
No.
I
Well, like, she sprung it on me, like we both left that meeting at the same time, to it, and I'm constantly.
Do you know if it's coming back?
It's empty. It makes sense.
That's funny.
Okay, let me wait.
And Sarah said,
You wanna actually run the restaurant?
What does that mean?
Well, let's get it kicked out now. And then we'll go.
and she also did it sound like, was it done?
Mm.
It sounded like.
Let's do it.
Waiting.
Yeah, no, it's coming back.
Here. Oh, you know what? I think he's parked over there, so you probably could see. Alright. I would.
I also sent an email to everyone and see if that isn't like Disney, is not Disney. Cause I'm inclusive enough. So what do you do? I work on programming chips. Hell yeah. You should go over to do, I heard. Okay, well. Yeah. Oh, robot chicken? Robot chicken. Okay, the chicken recess. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we do, a show, it's called Ruby, and then we're about to release another show in January. And a lot of things like this, but it's basically, it's got these four girls who, I mean, it's hero characters, I guess, going around, well, there's a lot to it, but, huh? You're not gonna Halo models? No. Okay. No. Huh? I'm a technical artist, so I work
I guess, the stuff.
Well, the heat system stuff, and then I'll go in and I'll make those automated, so that everything will just run, by itself. RWBY, which is how it's spelled. And then it comes out and then it'll generate. Is that it? I'll see it shown.
Where's your shoes?
Hey. Yeah, but regardless, I have a.
Good, so.
Changed, so you so is it in? Yeah, we can use it at a 3D or 2D.
Alright, everyone, we're gonna get started pretty soon once Brandon gets back here. Have y'all been to a VR Cafe before? Anyone? Yeah? Cool. Alright, well, I'm Zach Berger. I'm the organizer of this meetup. Hosted by a couple organizers as well as Capital Factory, so this is kind of Capital Factory's event and meetup. So if you have any specific Capital Factory questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just for a general run through of this event, it's one part presentation, one part hackathon. We're open till 9. The presentation doesn't run till 9, but you're more than welcome to stay and work on projects or hang out and eat pizza or do whatever. So Brandon will be back in a second talking about the evolution of AR filters and then kind of digging into some actual hands-on stuff. So we'll be, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Austin FC, which I know you are. Super excited, that's the MLS team we just got, so we're going to create a filter for them, and hopefully they'll actually use it, which would be sweet, but probably won't go live. But yeah, so any questions regarding the meetup or Capital Factory? Go. Well, Brandon will be back here in a second, and then we can kick it out. Thanks. Yeah?
Sure, I actually don't know any business. See that? The exact. I'm learning right now. How far is the VR Cafe from here?
I'm sorry?
How far is it? How far is the cafe from here?
So we just call it the VR Cafe. Just because it started off as a place to just come and work and hang out, and then we kind of transitioned it to also having a presentation to be a little more engaging. But if you actually want a cafe, there's one out there.
Hey guys, sorry I wasn't talking earlier. I was trying to finish this presentation for you, because it's going to be really cool. Let me drag this over. Alright. So yeah, it's the VR Cafe, it's the evolution of AR filters. Did Zach go ahead and introduce himself? Cool. Alright, yeah, Zach's awesome. Yeah, so basically, I'm not in the same way. I'm going to actually monitor my screen, or duplicate my screen. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so basically 6:30 to 7 we're going to be networking. Then I was going to do some brief introductions. Yeah, it's kind of what you want to go around the room and just introduce yourself. Just all you have to say is like, your name, just first name, and then what you do. We don't have to get into that. So we start in the back with the blue shirt.
Hey, what's up? I'm Andrew. I'm a student, and name is Jonathan Rios, new to the area. Mathematician.
Cool.
That's
I'm Jeff, I'm creative technologist at Century Interactive.
I'm Case and software developer. I'm Jacob. I'm a technical artist for Richard Key.
Who's Zach, consulting analyst at Accenture?
Corey, also consulting analyst at Accenture.
I'm Matt, I'm a consultant with Softmatch.
And I'm Jen, I'm learning how to build games in
Cool. Awesome. Just a quick little survey. How many of you guys have ever like used Snapchat or Facebook? Facebook's like filters. Yeah. Have any of you guys created any of the filters ever? Cool. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do today. Yeah. So basically, we're gonna just like briefly do a presentation about it. Then we're gonna do a quick tutorial over it. It's gonna be really cool. And then we'll do some Q&As and stuff. So yeah, if you want to follow along, actually you'll need this link anyway. So this is so I'm gonna close this link up after the presentation. So if you want to download stuff, download it. But it'll have the presentation plus like the project files you need and all the other assets like the logos and things like that.
Which Wi-Fi do we connect to?
Oh, sorry, Wi-Fi.
You can go guest, it'll just load you right on.
Oh yeah. Will it?
Yeah,
It does.
you don't need it that anymore.
Cool. Alright. Yeah, so Capital Factory members guest, or Capital Factory guest, you should be able to log on. And I'll just leave this up for a second.
So you're going to close it after the presentation?
Yeah, well not like right after, but like later tonight. Yeah. Because right now I just put like a public link up, so. Yeah. What was that? Was there a, was this one like recorded? Did we get that going?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Alright, so has everyone had a chance to go to that link? Cool. Alright. So, a brief introduction. So my name is Brandon Keebler. On the left, it's like this is one of the first filters we made a while back, me and some of the friends. It was like some New Year's thing for Snapchat. It was late last year, like November or October or something. But yeah, so I got my degree in computer science from Indiana in 2016. I worked at GM for a little while after graduation, for about a year and a half. And after that, I left and I founded a company, Musa VR, and then later transitioned into Flory. So it's an augmented reality visualizer, flooring visualizer. So it swaps out this carpet for like hardwood or whatever in real time from your phone. And it's some really cool tech. It's really awesome. My contact info is on there. So yeah, feel free to send me a message if you have any help or need any help or have any questions. And the presentation was also in that folder, right? Yeah, so that presentation will have all this info too. Cool. Your computer. So yeah, basically, what is augmented reality? In case no one knows, so augmented reality, also known as AR, seamlessly blends virtual objects with the real world. And it's there's a lot of like nomenclature out there right now. So AR is not to be confused with virtual reality. They're separate technologies. They're all encompassed under the same like name, like XR. But augmented reality, puts virtual objects into the real world, and virtual reality is just the virtual world. So yeah. So all these filters we're going to be discussing is augmented reality. You know, we have like a Snapchat filter that has like a dancing object in it. That's AR. It's really cool. So just a quick little overview of like the history of kind of AR. So in 1968, the first HMD was built. You know, a very huge thing, and not very useful at the time. In 1992, Virtual Pictures was developed by Louis Rosenberg at an Air Force base, Armstrong Labs. So then in 1998, the first and 10 line, the yellow line in football, that was broadcast live. So that was the first like mainstream use of AR, and everyone's seen that. Everyone's seen AR. Everyone likes it. It was incredible technology. 2 years later, a developer released this AR toolkit, and it used video tracking to overlay content. It was this open source thing. It's been used, still in use, and it was this amazing toolkit. But nowadays, you have a lot more powerful things. And so in 2017, Facebook and Google, or actually Apple and Google released 2 frameworks, ARKit and ARCore. And then Facebook and Snap released 2 platforms as well, Lens Studio and AR Studio, to create AR stuff. So the ARKit and ARCore are frameworks for developing, so programmers will be using that. And meanwhile, the Lens Studio and AR Studio, these are anything that anyone can use. Designers, hobbyists, anyone can use it. It's just like if you can use, After Effects or something, you should be able to use Lens Studio. Yeah, and then so on the track of AR, so basically in the modern age, what happened with AR was pretty interesting. So Snapchat was released on the App Store in July 2011. And then in April 2012, Snapchat's biggest competitor, Instagram, was acquired by Facebook for $1 million, which is, it's absurd that Facebook got them for $1 billion when you look back, because they bought, WhatsApp for like $20 billion 2 years later. But yeah, so in fall of 2013, this is when AR actually became on Snapchat's platform. They released Stories and Discover in like October, and then in November of 2013 they released their lenses. So lenses are the actual filters themselves. They call it a lens. So 3 years later, Instagram launched Stories. Now Stories is the same thing as what Snapchat has. The ability to record an image, post it onto your timeline, and share it with your friends. So you really start to see the first kind of steps that Facebook was taking towards overtaking Snapchat and actually kind of integrating the stuff into all the platforms. And so yeah, in December 2017, Snapchat and Facebook released Lens Studio and AR Studio. So first we're going to talk about Snapchat's Lens Studio. So Lens Studio is kind of what it looks like on the right. And this is actually the filter we're making on the right too. It's Austin FC, so there's that soccer team that's coming. And yeah, Zach's a huge fan of them, so he keeps talking about them, so I decided to do it. Yeah. So Lens Studio was released by Snap Inc. in December of 2017. And it's a real-time tool for creating Snapchat lenses, allowing anyone to create their own custom filters. So users can create both face lenses and world lenses. And so a face lens is like on the front camera and a world lens is the rear camera. So you can create both in Lens Studio. So the features that it has, so you can use 2D assets and 2D animations like sprite sheets. So they allow for PNGs and JPEGs, so pretty standard. They allow for 3D objects and 3D animations. So if you use Blender or 3D Maya or whatever, if you use one of these, you can just export your FBX or your object file and bring it in, or your animation and bring it in. For audio, it requires a mono MP3. Pretty standard. It has 3 types of lighting you can do. Point lights, directional lights, and ambient lights, so you can get some kind of realistic stuff. It also has shadows, so you can have shadows. The materials and textures, so it allows for all your standard materials, and you can do actually a PBR and stuff too. So you can get some really realistic stuff in there. And the textures, you can compress it while you're in there. They offer like different levels of compression, so you can kind of save size when you want to optimize it, because you're targeting these mobile devices. It has a particle system in it, so you can create actual real-time particles, so like sparks, things like that, fire. It does face tracking really well. And when you share it, it has a really cool thing of snap codes, which is like almost like an image, you know, it's like a QR code. You scan it and then it loads up onto your phone with the app. So it's really cool. There's some really awesome features that it has. So here's some resources on there. Obviously you can't click on these links, but if you have the presentation, you can do that. But basically there's a getting started, there's some templates, there's a frequently asked questions. I uploaded this creative guidelines that they share with people that they work with, but it's not really relevant anymore. They have their own stuff, but there's good information in it. So I have that also there. It's on a Drive link somewhere. The brand guidelines, which go over all the colors that they have. The Snap Kit, it's not related to Lens Studio, but it also goes over some more important things when you're developing and like what you want to be thinking about when you're making these assets and designing and stuff. Goes over snap codes and also geo filters, which is being able to have a filter based on location. So if you want to have a filter in Austin, everyone's used Snapchat, so you know you see your Austin snaps, that type of thing. So some best practices though with Lens Studio, you want to keep the frame rate around like 30 FPS. So it's pretty standard. And that's pretty awesome on a phone with 30 FPS. Memory, you want to consume less than 120 megabytes of RAM. The lens size is less than 4 megabytes, but optimal about 2 megabytes, so pretty small. You want to use texture compression when possible, and also JPEGs when the creatives allow it. So if you don't need the alpha layer, like it's just a simple image, and you want the whole background, you use a JPEG. It'd be a great time to use it. Texture size, you want to aim to use a power of 2. So like 2, 4, 8, 16 powers of 2. And you want it to be less than or equal to 2048 by 2048. 3D models, again, you want to keep it low poly, 5,000 polygons is what it allows. You can actually do a lot of objects. You can have 500 actual objects in there, which is incredible. Facebook only allows 50. You can do 3D animation, so anyone that's an animator will understand this, but you can have 100 joints on an object, which again, it's crazy for a mobile game, basically. You want it to be less than 10 seconds. Again, audio, mono MP3, low bit rate, so 16-bit, 12-bit, whatever it is. And then anti-aliasing, you want to make sure you disable that. And you'll get a huge performance boost if you do that. So, now let's talk about Facebook's AR Studio. So this is what Facebook's AR Studio looks like. Again, really similar to Snapchat's. You have your inspector, you have your this little like preview thing right here in the middle. It's all really similar, and they always come with a bunch of templates, and they also come with a bunch of people that you can use, like example models. So actually, I just copied Snapchat stuff, but it was released in the same time, December, and it is a real-time tool for creating Facebook lenses. And users can create both face lenses and world lenses. But it was released by Facebook in December 2017. It's actually a funny thing that happened. So Snapchat had this proprietary software called Studio 3D that they used in the past. And they were using that privately and with some other people, like people they had relationships with. But Facebook opened up their platform, AR Studio, to the public in December. And so that same day, Snapchat was forced to kind of come back with something, so they had to release this product. So they released Lens Studio. And it was really funny how it happened. But it's just like, you can see that Facebook's really pushing Snapchat right now. And again, the features that they have are pretty much the same. You have 2D objects, 3D objects. You can actually do DAE as well. Audio, you want it to be mono again, the M4A. But it's another lossless file. The lighting, it actually has 4 types instead of 3. So point, directional, and ambient, same as Snapchat. And also a spotlight, so you can get, like interrogations and stuff going on. You can do a live streaming, which is really cool. You can stream live to Facebook, which is awesome. It provides you a lot of metrics, so you can see like how people are using your stuff. It does face tracking, but it also does body tracking. That's in beta right now, and they do hand tracking. So Snapchat only does face tracking, and it does also real-time segmentation. So like a green screen, you can take a person like me. With this background, I can change this background to green, or to space, or whatever I want it to be. It's really awesome. And then another really amazing feature that AR Studio has, which I don't see how Snapchat doesn't have this, but you can use text. in AR Studio. You can't do that in Snapchat yet. So you can also import a font, and it's really cool. So again, some more resources, and you can go through those if you'd like. But they're all really awesome. And there's a really cool Facebook group though I'd recommend people checking out. That one's really great. So again, best practices, pretty much the same as what you would follow on Snapchats, you know, but project size wants to be less than 1.6 megabytes, and then object count, less than 50 objects. So now, which do I prefer, AR Studio or Lens Studio? Again, it actually really depends. Both have their strengths, and we're just going to kind of talk about them. So Lens Studio is cross-platform. It works on both Windows and Mac, and that's the reason why I chose to use Lens Studio today, because in case anyone had a Windows device. And then it's also easier to share with Snapchat, because you know it's you're able to like just send someone a code. They can like scan it. You know, it's really easy to find. It's not that difficult. Meanwhile, Facebook, it's kind of hidden. Like you have to like go to the person's page, or you have to scroll through all these different effects to find it, and it's really tough. Snapchat has some better face and retouch effects. So being able to change eye color, you know, add makeup, you know, do like the weird like you know face stretch, all that stuff. It's really really nice inside of Snapchat. It's not as nice in Facebook's. It has a cleaner UI, like it's a little bit easier to look at, a little bit more familiar. It looks like a really professional tool. But Facebook's looks really, really early still. And it's also a bit more stable. Facebook's like crashes sometimes, and then Facebook is constantly updating. Like if, my old project files, I can't even open them up anymore. So it's crazy. And then also, like every like couple of months, they release a whole new like version of it, and like they deprecate a bunch of stuff. They're constantly deprecating things. But then, so that's what Snapchat has good going for it. But Facebook has a lot going for it. So the metrics, you can get the impressions. So the people that are viewing it, you get captures. That's the people that took a photo or a video with the filter on. And then you can do shares, the number of times that someone has shared the actual effect. So this is really important for, you know, maybe like Procter & Gamble. They want to see who's been, you know, using whatever filter they made. They can get this data like that. It's a no-brainer. I don't see why they're not doing it more often. You can promote your effects, so you can like share it on your Facebook stuff, but you can also promote it. You can do a boost, and a boost is like an ad, and so it kind of just brings it up to the top of the queue for everybody looking for these filters. It has the body and hand tracking, which Snapchat doesn't have. The body tracker is in beta. It has the real-time segmentation, your ability to use text and import fonts. It works on Facebook, like for everyone, but for beta people, it works on Messenger and Instagram as well. So it's going to be on Instagram Stories really shortly. So Instagram Stories is, you're going to be creating filters for Instagram, and it'll be just like Snapchat. So it's kind of hard to keep using Snapchat. And then it also has a visual programming editor, which is really awesome. So anyone that's used Unreal Engine or Unity has a kind of like this node-based, or you know, even Blender or like any other thing, it has a node-based editor, so you can kind of like drag and drop these nodes to these different patches, and then like say, you know, I want to have an image on there, and you can say what image you want it to do, you want it to blink like every second. It's really cool. And also testing is a lot quicker. On Snapchat, when you want to sync it, you know, you have to get your phone out, open up the app, and pair it. You have to physically pair it. Like you have to press this pair button, and it's really, really inconsistent. Meanwhile, Facebook, you know, you just plug it in, and it's working. So it's a lot nicer in that aspect. So now let's get started on this tutorial. So what I'm going to have you all do is download Lens Studio. The Lens Studio is already on that one. But download Lens Studio. So there's a link to it on here. And then we're going to go ahead and also download the assets as well. Then you open up the Austin FC Start Here project. And let me know when you guys are ready. Yeah, so you guys don't have a laptop or anything?
No, I think sure.
That's all right. Yeah, no worries. We'll still go through it. It'll be fun. I wish we had more of these to use, but
That's all right. I'm cool watching.
yeah.
Watching the program.
Yeah, it's pretty nice though. But it really is easy to create these things. Anyone can do it. So
So with things like Snapcodes, that means that you could make these for private events and whatnot, and that
Exactly.
the promotion or.
Exactly. Oh, I guess I didn't mention this too. Because you brought up a good point. For like certain events, Facebook has a cool feature though. So even though Snapchat, you can have it in an area, you can scan it at that event. Facebook also has this thing where you can schedule to release your filter. So you can say, I want to release it on September 1st. I want to have it end on September 3rd. So just for Labor Day weekend, I want it going. You can do things like that, and it's really nice.
How long is Snapchat? As long as you want.
Yeah, Snapchat. Yeah, then you can delete it whenever you want. But it's not as nice doing it. They don't have this like they don't have a Facebook has a managing effects type of thing, and it's directly from your Facebook account. Snapchat doesn't have that, so it's easier to manage your filters.
Do you know if large companies still have to pay for it?
For what?
Filters and stuff?
Yeah, so in the past, Snapchat, people would pay like 300, 500 grand to have a filter. Like Gatorade would say, hey Snapchat, we want a filter. And you pay that much money. But then, like in the middle of last year, they wanted to kind of bring that cost down, so they kind of opened up their platform, Studio 3D. And so now, I don't know how much it costs, but you still have to pay. But it's not $500,000 yet. That's just absurd. Yeah. But at the time, they could do that. They had 120 daily active users, things like that. But they're not in that position anymore.
Do they have like stores? Is there like a filter store, like mini app stores?
Yeah. No, there actually isn't. Surprisingly, like we can go to Lynn Studio. They have they don't have a store, but they have a creator spot showcase. They talk about what they are. They have their lenses, and it's not a store per se, but it's like it's kind of like a store, I guess. But it has all the trending lenses, but it doesn't have them all. And on this one, if my phone's dead, if my phone wasn't dead, I would just open it up and I could scan it, and it would work. So, yeah. All right. So, once you guys are ready, let me know.
Which file? I read the Austin FC start here, but was there something else?
It'll be start here. That's the one you want to open up? Yeah. So I'm going to open that one up with you guys. So yeah, it's Austin FC, start here. I'm going to go ahead and open it. I'm just going to wait until you guys are ready. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, so don't download that. So download, actually, go ahead and just download that entire, I would download that entire, that one. I would just download that as a whole.
So download this to the.
Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna click on that little drop down thing, and then download.
The whole the start here is zip file?
What do you say?
The whole start here is zip file?
No, not the whole, so you're gonna download the entire, evolution of AR Filters public directory.
This?
No, one back. I'm gonna do it up on the screen. So you're gonna go to it. Right, so over here, it's evolution of AR filters. You're gonna click this drop down arrow, and say download. Because we're going to end up using a bunch of these things. And we're going to kind of go through like importing the objects and stuff in it. The start here is going to be a bare bones one. Yeah. And then once it's ready, you're going to open up Blend Studio, then open Project, and then open up the, I'll do it with you guys.
The studio would take a bit.
Yeah.
The studio's kind of big.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's kind of a studio. So.
Yeah, yeah. What's the progress on it right now?
I got
7 minutes left.
I got 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
I don't meet the system requirements. So.
Oh, really? Well, I think
32-bit computer.
On my main computer, not on my like, small portable.
It crashes up with multiple conversations on the side.
I wonder. There's a process to get in your personal computer. Like they have to do a whole bunch of shit with it. I wonder if I told them like, look, I'll sell my personal computer, I'll give you back if you subsidize the cost of these ones for purchasing higher power HP software. Computers that share all that.
yeah, yeah. If you like that, you can go up there.
Then I get to see you in the office again.
Oh, I'd be so productive.
But I'm down with getting the latest version.
Don't we have a fancy,
How's it going?
Do you have any luck? Or?
should be opening up now.
How much 3D modeling experience should you have to import 3D assets and all that?
Not really. Yeah, not any. You don't need any. It's important. You know, like one of the cool places to get 3D objects if you don't have any experience, especially for like low poly stuff, it's just poly.google. So this is Google Poly. It's like you have a bunch of 3D assets on here. Like if we look up, you know, VR. If we look up VR, or actually virtual reality. Look at virtual reality. Huh? Oh yeah, but like, so you want to use like I like using the ones that say like Poly by Google, because like Google made it, and it tells you like that it's a you can get the object file or the GLTF, which is optimized for web. does that, and it may somewhere show you like the number of like models or polygons in it. I don't know, but they have a bunch of really cool things on here. So that's one place to get them. Honestly, like at the same time though, you can get your stuff from that. Another cool place is this is great for if you like, if you love like nostalgia or something. Actually, sorry.
What's it mean? It's small resource.
Yeah, models resource. So the models resource, if you love nostalgia and stuff, this thing, you know, is great. You know, you can say like PlayStation and, you know, Final Fantasy VIII, you know, and download it. You know, it was really cool. And it has sprites, which is 2D animations, and it has sound and stuff like that. So it's a really good place to get your stuff from. Yeah, if you don't have any experience. Other than that, they could use Blender. It's a free tool to create like basic primitive shapes. And you can also do primitives inside of Studio 3D and Facebook. So like circles, or it can be spheres, squares, things like that. You can do them. There you go. You get it?
1 minute left.
All right, cool.
Hey, your app that you made, what kind of tools did you need to make that?
So we're using a couple different things. So first we were using just Unity and ARKit and AR4. Then we ended up later we got some more powerful stuff going. And now we're just using like basic. Right now it's only on iOS. But right now we're using basic like Xcode. You know, so just like, you know, native iOS stuff. And then
It's like Apple's ARKit.
exactly, yeah. Well, we're not using ARKit right now. We're just using like as we're building like a normal iOS app. So we're just using Xcode. So it's we're not even using Swift. We're using what is it? Objective-C. So Objective-C now with we're using this third-party sensor called a structure sensor. And the structure sensor has depth information on it. So it has 2 cameras. So we're just using it for the depth. So it allows us to get more accurate depth information. So I know that, you know, my hand is in front of the table, which is in front of the floor. And so we can then render around all the objects and stuff. And it's really nice. I've been working on a version though that doesn't require the structure sensor. So it's doing like, so it's actually going to be doing real time 3D reconstruction, which would be cool.
So right now it has like a third
Exactly.
party
Yeah.
thing, but in future it'll.
Exactly. We have it working where it doesn't need that, but it's just not as precise because basically what happens is it's trying to like find all these different features in it, but it only has one camera.
Yeah.
So it only has one image. So it's like, how does it know the depth and how does it know what's more interesting and stuff? So we can leverage some powerful like third-party software or hardware. Yeah, we do. But yeah.
Does iPhone 10 do?
The iPhone 10 does. The X, it has 2 cameras for the front-facing one. It has this thing called True Depth. So you can get depth information from the front-facing camera, but that's it.
So maybe it'll become something that'll be more and more common.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think in the future we'll be having people that are doing, like, so you know, you guys know what photogrammetry is? It's basically people, like Microsoft has this huge room in California, but all you do is you scan like a 3D object, and then you take that 3D object and you import it into like your game or whatever. So rather than making the actual model inside of, you know, a 3D modeling program, you actually just take an image, you know, and it's a fully comprehensive image taken from a bunch of different angles. But yeah, in the future, I think that you'll have like that real-time kind of like scanning from your phone. You'll be able to just upload like an image for a model or whatever. But not yet.
In the future, images of the thing from all angles and it's stitched together. What it
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the NSA wants that, so I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, the structure sensor does that too.
Yeah, because it uses the photo it takes, and then it builds a texture for it.
Yeah, and so I think that technology will come to phones though eventually, because the structure sensor, it does that too. People use it right now for like prosthetics and things like that, and scanning for like casts and all that. So it builds the model of like the arm and things like that. So they're already using it for stuff like that.
4 years ago, we used that structure sensor to build to scan people at a party. That's where these are all.
Like dancing in place or something.
Yeah, so the people just stood still and we forwarded a camera with the structure sensor, and then it creates a 3D model
Does it like add bonus to it or?
Yeah, I went in and added, came back to texture mesh. So I went in and picked it up. Actually used their
So you can move them around like you want.
yeah. Adobe had software called Mixamo a couple years ago. It got bought out and then they just deleted it.
No, it still exists.
Does it? I thought they shut it down. But yeah, you can just download any mesh and set the shoulders, elbows, knees, and then point on crotch. And it would rig it up with the skeleton. Just instantly.
Which you guys call it? Which one? The thing you were just talking about?
That's called Mixamo.
The structure center?
The act of doing photogrammetry?
Yeah. Did you shot that with a structure sensor?
Yeah, structure sensor.
Where were you?
We did that. We did it for South by Southwest 2 years ago, and then we took it to Canada and did it at the trade show. And we had
I'm glad you
the
like
festival
that.
there. They had like a big marketing media thing. We did there.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
And we built a little robot base to drive in a circle around a person. Because we had like a single iPhone with the structure sensor on it.
how's it going over
It
here?
gave us a 3D model.
I had to restart
It's
to
like a circular
install.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Well, it's probably
Like an oversized Roomba, essentially.
Mine's do the same thing here.
Windows.
Yeah, I would have, I was gonna use Air Studio, the Facebook one, but like people that have Windows, but Facebook's like, at least on Mac, installing software on Mac is usually a lot easier.
Yeah.
But for doing all this type of like, really experimental stuff, Mac has some better stuff, like Metal, the MetaWave guy. I don't know how much of a programmer you are, but. So Meta was, it's a new rendering stuff.
I handle the more novice stuff.
How long have you been
No, that's what it
programming?
is.
Or like learning
It
now?
brings the mesh in, you upload the mesh, and it shows it in the viewer, you just click on shoulders, elbows.
What type of games are you guys gonna be working on?
And knees. And that's all it needs, and it figures out where and how to use it. I don't know what they use. They never have a problem.
Exactly, yeah, that's one of the big things that I got focused down with like VR and AR. Rather than building like more games, I I'm more into experience and stuff than but rather than just building more games,
You're making the model.
it'd be better to build more like actual real world stuff. Or even just experiences. But non-entertainment stuff is cool. That's why we chose to do the flooring and stuff that we're doing. But yeah. Are you guys doing much VR?
A little bit. I also read a column about VR and serious games for a magazine.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, awesome. So what's the, we're just waiting for one more person, I think.
So VR Cafe is normally on Tuesdays, or, I thought I saw like 2 events this week.
Yeah, that we were just having a mix up with the events team here, like
Okay.
kind of planned it on different days than it was actually on. Typically, I would like to say that it's on the 3rd Thursday of every month, but that's not true. Since it is a Capital Factory event, our bandwidth is kind of short. In like October, we have Austin Startup Week, so we definitely won't have one in October. March with South by, we just can't do it. December, Christmas, like it's run by Capital Factory people, so really it's when we have bandwidth.
So just check Capital Factory.
Do
Just
what?
keep up to date with the events like this.
The events page? Yeah, and there also has its own meetup page
Okay.
as well. And yeah, so we like to get new content for every VR cafe, so it helps if someone's interested and you have something you want to talk about, or come in and pitch something. You can always message VR at Capital Factory.
Yeah, I thought of thinking of like a vibe or something like that, trying to develop something.
Yeah.
It seems like it's quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it until I started seeing silly VR chat videos pop up on YouTube, so.
Yeah. Well, we have a lab on the 5th floor with an Oculus, the new Pros, HoloLens.
Do you have a Magic Leap yet?
Structure sensor, no one has a fucking Magic Leap.
That's what I thought.
Don't have a Magic Leap.
One of our, like the Polish guys, they have ordered one.
Yeah, we ordered one. They said that it delivered around November.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they went on sale last week to the public, so we ordered it and paid for it. And they said, well, we'll give it to you around November.
Maybe.
What device is that?
Magic Leap.
The Magic Leap is the new, have you heard of HoloLens? Yeah, it's essentially a HoloLens, but instead of packing all the content and software, hardware on here, they have like a little pack that you put in your, it looks like a Walkman. So that has all the processing power, and then so it's a lot more comfortable HoloLens. So it's
like
they started it, they kickstarted it in 2011 or something, and so they've had this like mystical hype since last week when they
When
released it.
Microsoft, you know, they got big funding in 2011.
Yeah. So they've just been this secret company that's got billions of dollars in investment money.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, finally they released it, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews.
We didn't because we never.
Which you kind of expect.
I mean, it's good.
Exactly. Yeah. My theory is like I don't even
Did you work
think
that
that was
computer?
gonna be a big hit.
What's that?
I didn't think they thought that was gonna be a big hit.
Yeah.
Because they're like Microsoft was like, here, like this is a consumer product, sorry, enterprise product.
It does, and these computers don't necessarily have
consumer
support
products,
cards
these
or
gaming,
and
and
stuff like that to do.
Imagine people just like,
Yeah, hopefully it runs fine. Like,
just Apple, like here's our
It's not
product.
running fine.
So I think they're just like build
Yeah,
cool technology,
like,
see,
I can't-
see what people like, see what people don't like, and then go back. and
I
just
swear,
figure it
in a
out.
second.
Go to window though.
Fix what people are.
I mean, you know they're working on a lot of other stuff.
So everything's
Yeah,
good.
I just wanted to get something out there to get all that gear.
I really want to try one though. I heard it's super comfortable. I mean,
Yeah, that was what I was
not a
trying to
huge
do.
building, but a little bigger than the HoloLens, which is nice.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever
Yeah,
tried
Crashing whales.
Yeah, yeah.
The funny thing about that image is none of the people in the
Yeah.
audience are wearing glasses.
Yeah, that's why when I first saw it, I was like, is there some like projector like shooting something out? Or, like, what's going on here?
But I've heard you
Yeah,
some
very
people
marketing
say
guys
Yeah, they did great.
They weren't before, like that.
Okay, I hit Zoom and that worked.
That's
So,
okay.
all right, there we go.
That works.
Yeah, it looks like it does. So, oh yeah, okay. So go to File, and I'll do it with you. So actually, so go to File, go to Post Menu. Please. Yeah, that one. And then open up
Each of those elements in, do some math, each of those, first math, and then the third one.
Did you change that background, Zach?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Well, let me know when you get there.
Ours has a different hat.
She's got a yay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's why. So we're gonna like do it from time to time.
Okay.
Now, for Accenture Interactive, we used to be acquired by Accenture about 3 years ago. And it was to.
Did you get it open?
I'll just.
Oh, is it not working or?
I don't know, just want to open.
Yeah, well, mine took forever to open and.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really CPU instance of program.
Oh.
All right, cool. All right, so then say open project.
Yeah, use facial recognition to identify.
All right. So now we can start. All right, so we're gonna go to this is the home screen you see. You shouldn't see all this stuff. These are recent projects. But you're gonna click open project. You're gonna go to it should be in should say AR or Austin FC. Start here. You're gonna open up that .ls proj file. So when you open it, you're going to see something that looks like this. So it should have like a girl with kind of these like stripes on her face. It's going to be a logo on the left-hand side. The first thing you might want to do is if you have a web camera, you can enable it by going to preview in this area. And you're going to click on the webcam mode. So then you have this webcam that's going on. Yeah, it's funny. So basically, the first thing we're going to do is kind of get familiar with how everything works. So the panels that you have on the left side, you have your objects. this is your hierarchy of objects. You have cameras, you know, so you have, this is a perspective, this is perspective, and this one's orthographic. So it's the different types of modes. This is an object. If you want to add new objects, you go to the add new. So you can add like a box to it if you'd like. And box. If I could change it to switch to back camera, box might be there. But yeah, so if you delete it, you can just delete the box like that. On the bottom side is the resources. These are all the files that you have in your project. So you have your materials, you know, you have your textures in here as well. So we have confetti, we have a logo, mask, we have this team logo that we see right here. You have your scripts in here. They look like this. This is your inspector. So whatever you currently click on, it shows you information about it. This is kind of your, this is the 2D scene. This is, it's called it's called the scene view. So it's 2D mode. If you click on something that is like meant for 2D, such as this retouch, it'll show it for like, so these right here, these are retouch. This is a facial effect. On the left you see the before, on the right you see the after. So if I turn it off, there won't be a difference. Or there shouldn't be a difference. Oh, but it's for everything that's coming on, it's going to have it in the script. This eye color, so it allows you to change the color of your eyes. And then if you go to like face paint though, you can see this is a mask, so it has, you know, if you want it to, you can like stretch things out and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
There's the face logos. So once again, this one was stretched out on purpose to make it like fit the face for a weird reason. But then just to show you an example of what you can do though, if I click add new, face effect, then I'm going to say, you know, face inset, kind of like this one. You see that I have my mouth, it's like talking right now. So I can like take it, you know, yeah, you know, and just make it bigger.
Put it on your eyes.
Yeah, you can actually go and move it to your actual eye, you know.
Oh my God.
But you'd say like a face region, reason it's not.
You have to like build it.
And no, you just kind of have to mess around with it, like until it matches up. Yeah, it's weird. But you can also do things like, you can do another really cool thing though. So even though you have that, you can also say source texture. You can make it like, you make it the actual camera output. So not this one. Yeah, this is, I used to experiment a bunch with this stuff. Device. Is that what I'm looking for? Oh yeah, face. There we go. So if you go with the face, you know, but you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, you know, before you know it, you know, and just make it really, you can just do a bunch of stupid stuff with it, if you'd like.
Stupid.
Yeah. So it's really kind of cool. Now I have to figure out where.
So it says confetti is there. I don't see the confetti in the preview.
Yeah, exactly. You see it right here, you know, when you click on it, you see it all falling down. And so it's right here. The confetti does exist. So now we kind of talk about this actual project. So there's two things there's actually only one thing you're going to be messing with. It's a Team Celebrate controller. It says Edit Me on it. On here, you're going to see all these different things, right? We have our primary color, secondary color. See how it's all corresponding to everything. I have this checkbox called confetti. So if I click it and say show confetti, you see it falling down like that. Exactly. And then we can say use trigger, and if I use trigger, it'll go when the trigger, so mouth open, could do like smile started, and then when you smile, it'll do that, and then you can do like brows lowered, and it works when you lower them. Touch started, so if you touch, and you can say like you want to have it like hide on finished. If I uncheck it now, it's always going to be plain. So I'll put it back there, and it stops when I close it. So I'm going to disable that for now. Have face paint enabled. I can turn that off. Turn it on. Have a face logo you can use. You turn that on. It's the same logo as the team logo. There's a cat. If you turn that on, it's a checkbox. It'll say yay right now. And then there's a screen logo at the bottom. You can turn that off as well. So cool. So the first thing we're going to do though is kind of define these colors. So the first color we're going to do is the primary color. I have it already set up. Maybe you guys have it too. That'd be cool. I don't know if it gets, did it get saved, these colors?
The face paint,
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change mine to green, and I'll give you what that, the hex code of it. So the hex code for the green is 1CA 34D. So you're going to set your primary color to that.
340 or 340D is in dog?
Yeah, that's option.
D is in dog,
Fixed
yeah.
image or.
So you type in the hex, I'll show you right here. So you go to this, and you're going to say, go to this one, the RGB sliders, and it's hex color at the bottom.
To your Snapchat account, so that it can go in and send the list to my Snapchat account.
But you can also change it to whatever color you'd like.
It's about format.
What was that code again? So we're just changing the face paint, right?
Right at this moment.
And you put your camera in.
Yeah, our example doesn't match up with that
Yeah.
example.
Your Snapchat account, your phone.
Which
Links
one?
up with their server at that moment because their server.
The example that's here doesn't exactly match up with what you got on screen. So primary color is split into primary cut color
No,
and
so
primary
Snapchat server.
face paint.
So visual login and go
There's
on
no
your
option
account.
to turn
Yeah.
cap.
Whenever you go to seek it, it's close to.
Because we have baseball
So
cards,
is it just
so you don't have to install it. Can you even
Or is it
go
visual
to
login?
Share it out with this and then take a picture of this.
Oh, no, the wrong
Oh, okay.
It's like, yeah, so this is.
File, open
yeah,
project.
then you should send it to my snaps account and then it's. then
You
have
go
a lot
to,
of-
wherever you download
Okay.
it.
You can how we're gonna get this to.
Not really, it's also fast.
Can you put on
I
custom?
think so the Facebook one, you just plug in your USB and.
There it is.
set up with it.
On that, I'll just go to your phone.
Yep.
Let's try this.
Should I take a picture of the contractor to sell this to people?
Well, then actually, click on that primary color one.
You know,
Let's see what happens.
expensive.
No, they didn't say.
And that's really
But you can change it to whatever color you like.
friends are drinking.
But the actual color though is, yeah, 1CA 34D. So these are the same colors as Austin FC. So once again, 1CA 34D.
What?
Then the secondary color, we're going to change that to, I believe, black. No, it's white. The secondary color is going to be white. Then the third color, like we can enable that or disable it. That one's going to be black.
Is it showing up in face paint?
No. So, but if you want it to show up in the face paint, you can go down to the face paint mode and change the face paint type to whatever you'd like. So I have swirls, there's quarter,
That's pretty cool.
there's horizontal 3, you know, so this one does have the third color in it. So you can change it whatever you want to. You can change the alpha of it, so like none at all, or fully opaque. But 0.8 is a nice kind of intermediate value. You can also do a custom face paint if you'd like, if you don't want to use the primary colors of the thing.
What's the frame rate of the camera that's capturing?
Right now.
It's going to
I'm not sure,
Yeah,
probably
this is-
30. Even though it's a little like laggy, I'd say about 30.
Yeah, if you look, this is what the controller looks like. So it's got these configurations for all of these. And then everything.
Now,
here,
I see a
these
spotlight in
properties
the model.
that shows up in
Oh yeah, this right here.
that. This is stuff that they wrote.
So it's actually
To make
a directional light.
the filter,
Is that showing up?
Because the directional light is like a sun.
This,
You know.
this originally.
But yeah, it's there. If you make it more intense, though, you can see it.
I'm trying to see it on the preview.
And maybe if we add the hat, it'll show as well.
Yeah, it shows up on the hat, it doesn't show up on your.
Yeah.
On,
That's you probably
I guess the real.
like the default stuff.
The real world.
Give me like free iron real.
Turn off the shadow. Alright, so we have our colors have been defined. And so once again, you all have all these things you can mess with. And now we want to go ahead and change this to the logos that we want to use. So I went in and I gave you all the Austin FC team logo, and I gave you guys some other things like an audio file. But right now we're going to upload or import the logo. So you're going to go to Textures in the Resources. You're going to click Add New and Import Files. And so in the one that you have, it's going to be this Austin FC logo, 1024.png. It's like 48 kilobytes. So you're going to download that one and you're going to import it in.
Here we can't find any other textures.
I just do that, but it's under texture, when you click on new.
Yeah, so yeah. You don't have, it's like not under textures, but it's at the top.
Yeah, and but then we're
Here we go,
Import files come out.
okay.
And then you're going to import the file you want. I know where mine's at though, so
Gotta get this one.
but you all will have it in that file that I gave you.
Looks like there's face effects.
What's the team we're supporting today?
Austin FC is the new MLS team that Austin's trying to get.
Yeah, the thing they did is like all things all
The Frisco, like Denton area. Just recently moved here, like not even moving a half ago. Oh, congrats.
Alright, that's in here.
Well, they literally just did it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it'll be new one again.
Recently graduated.
How are you guys doing over there?
You wanna come over
Yeah,
real quick? We missed the whole changing color.
Oh, yeah,
But I just imported the logo earlier. Under textures.
So go ahead and go to the bottom of it.
There's those tabs on the VR.
So put that back.
Although which keeps on
and when
phones, VR has a lot of untapped potential. Yeah.
go to default.
Hopefully, when schools have access to VR technology,
And then go to
the
window.
educational designers can take a step further.
What age? So yeah. Yep, and then primary color defined there. So you can define it whatever you want. Maybe just put like a green or whatever you want.
There's a company here called Disrupt.
And then change that to whatever you want.
There's a certain code for
Yeah, white. Yeah, that way but it's not too important. So you can make it their color whatever you want to.
pretty much real on designs that you're talking about. So they had to do
Can you make this
virtual reality and we just come up on a headset.
Exactly. Yeah, you can.
Like, so we can make this live right now.
Really live right this second.
This little logo, that
And they also
is.
do
Yeah, so you're gonna drag, so you're the one that you got.
but then they also
You can drag it over, or you can click it.
Oh, just drag it over?
Yeah, onto it, yeah.
Oh, is that easy?
how do you I heard this.
So I shall show you.
So,
Yeah, I try to emphasize the ED, so it's disrupt and
So you can either, so if you can click that. Or you can drag it.
very small.
But yeah, and that'll change. And then if you want to hide the UI, just hit that button right there. Make them live. Well, it's not like you can't make them live in that sense. You have to go. You submit it for approval. It takes about a day or two, and then it would go live. And it's not like natural live. It's you can share it with friends and stuff like that.
Oh, but it's not aerial.
if you wanted to make it geographically tied, you have to pay for it.
No, you wouldn't have to pay for it. Yeah, you can do a geofilter. Yeah, but you wouldn't have to pay for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I did.
But question, like, if I didn't share
I'm
it
willing
with
to
you,
work with anyone.
if I made it my own list, you can access it. If you didn't share it with me,
Yes.
so but like you can like send the snap code to whoever you want, like electronically. Yeah, and I mean like on your blog or something like that.
I'm Zach. There, yes. And I go to
Damn.
Oh, Zach.
So,
And that's entirely the building.
So this is the Omni Hotel. This side is office space. That's like hotel.
What you do is just do the
So this is
No.
Oh.
I took the train here.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had to come super
Oh,
early,
they're
so
facing that.
I wandered around a little bit.
Yeah. You should come tour the space if you're interested in tech startup. This is a good place to.
I'm actually interested in the weakest part. That's the weakest part. I have all these theories and things and research stuff. I guess the best way to say it is I use that as leverage to say that any complicated system you throw at me, I'm going to give them more. Like I'm just going to be able to discuss and write a paper, whatever you need to do. It's just my kids are really supportive of school. Like the Struck Ed, that sounds great. This place here.
Yes. So yeah, there's 1,500 to 2,000 stars.
That's huge.
Why is this? So if you message IU,
Oh, there we
I'll
go.
be able to.
I'll make myself say.
Oh, that's a name.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a computer vision.
Yeah, no, it's this Actually, a very kid-friendly.
Experimenting with this.
How we're trying to change that. I have the presentation. And so it's the link to the voice side as well. Let me help out with this. But let me get that link. Can you read that?
Let's try that. Just call it.
So that's the present, like has the presentation and the project files and stuff like that.
So in this thing you put together, there's 3 heads in there just to support up to 3 users.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's changing names. There's 3 different places over here.
You got it? Cool. All right. So brought up a good point. So if you look at it, there are 3 heads in there. You go into the first camera, you see there's head 0, head 1, head 2. And like if we disable head 1 and head 2, they disappear. At least the hats do. You know, but we can also, if we look at the effects, we see we have effects going on too, like face effects for that one. And then, et cetera.
Does it just automatically use them in order as it finds you faces?
Well, actually, no. So on this one, they all have a face index. So head 0 is face index 0. Head 1 is 1. Same with the face effects. Face index 0.
Alright.
Yeah. So it's really nice. You can add as many people as you want. I'll show you 3 though, because I had to do the scripting of it, and it was a little bit tedious.
Yeah. And it's still have to get that many people in.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah.
Now it's not.
So yeah. So now though, now that we imported that logo, let's go ahead and swap it out. So we're going to flip team logo. And go to textures. Austin FC logo 1024. And it swaps out with the logo we want. So to change the size of that logo or to turn it off, you can just disable it like that, show screen logo. But we want to show it, so we're going to enable it again. All right, now I have it on the bottom left. We can put it in like the top right or the top left. I like the bottom right though, or the bottom left. Snapchat, I recommend you putting it in the bottom left for national lenses. And in the top right for audience lenses. You can change the size of the logo.
What's the difference between audience and national?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Audience lens, or national would be things that are rolled out throughout the entire country. Like Gatorade releases a filter and it's, they want it everywhere. That's a national one. Meanwhile, an audience one would be like, if you created, or if we created this filter and wanted it only for the Austin FC, team or whatever, that'd be an audience specific one. Because it's only local to that area and to that specific targeted audience.
So like say inside of the stadium, is what you're saying?
Yeah, inside of a stadium or just for a specific like event, things like that. Yeah, but you can kind of, that's not, that like terminology isn't used as much anymore, but in the past when people were paying for them, they would ask for a national lens. That'd be like an 8-month or 8-week timeline. And then for the audience one, it'd be like a 2 or 3 week turnaround. So they would do the, so they just had these kind of 2 different plans people could pay for, the audience one or the national one. But they're kind of like not used anymore, that language.
We must have to swap the logo out.
So you're gonna click team logo, go to textures.
Wait, click team logo where?
On the actual image, sorry.
Right there.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go to textures and then go to that logo.
Texture.
You can change it to anything like yay if you wanted to.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Cool. So then now we can go ahead and add the hat. So we're gonna enable the hat. You can see right now the hat doesn't have the right colors. So I'm gonna change my hat color to the green. Nope, I'm gonna change it to the black. It looks better. So I'm using black for both of the hats, for the primary and the secondary color. But you can use whatever color you like. Like if you wanted to use the green, we could do that. Or if you wanted to use blue, you could do that.
You have to manually pick those, right? There's no way to like tie those in.
Yeah, well, into the actual object, you could bake it into the material.
No, but I mean, like if you change the primary color, is there a way to assign the primary color to that, or is that a separate color field always?
What do you mean?
You have a primary hat color. I
Yeah.
guess you could point that to just the primary color if you wanted to always match the.
Oh yeah, I could have done that in the script, but I just wanted to have like the flexibility
Yeah.
if someone wanted to do that, so they could kind of experiment the way they wanted to. Because also like we changed that secondary color to white, it doesn't look quite as good as the black. So then now we can go ahead and change the brim curve. Right now 0.25 is about right, but if we want to make it flat, we would go to 0. And now it's a flat bill. If we want to make it a fully curved thing, we take it to 1, and it's like someone warped it.
How do you do that? Is that rigged?
Yeah, I'll show you the code.
Or is it blend shape?
It's actually it is a blend shape exactly. And then for the swivel, we have that. And for the blend, it's down here.
Pick the percentage the way you want to go between two objects, the same vertex down.
Exactly. Yep. And so you can use them. Actually, Snapchat recommends you not using blend shapes, but in this case, we couldn't get away from it. But you see, we have this blend shape here, and then we go to the hat. We have the blend shape right here. And so we put the weight of it. So that's all it is really.
What's wrong with blend shapes?
It uses too much. It's too intensive on the computer. Because like, well, on both.
Regular phones and.
Because it's like doing it in real time. And so it's like keep recalculating that.
I guess one of the issues here is optimizing for
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, you put that brim curve about 0.25. You can kind of do a hat swivel if you like. If you want to like turn it to the side, you can do that. And also you can tilt it if you want to have it tilted, like up or down.
So really relaxed tilt. It's fun.
Yeah,
I half expected for it to like phase through your face.
I know, yeah. Well, the reason it doesn't go through your face is because on the hats we have an occluder on it. See it? We have there's an occluder object onto the actual hat.
Yeah.
I got over the purposes for it.
Cool, yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, see you later.
See you.
Take care.
So on the actual hat, there's an occluder, and that allows it to not like pass through your body. So it just says that there's something here, doesn't know what it is. If we disable the occluder, now you see it passing through my head.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Can you make the hat more opaque? Because right now we can
Yeah.
see our eyes through the room. Like if you tilt it down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like one of the cleaner.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a feature.
Oh, the white eyes are shining through.
It's our transparent hat.
It's
All the rage.
Halloween.
Oh, hey, how's it going? I guess no, we can't do that right now.
Okay.
But let me see if I disable that eye effect. That matters. Yeah, so it's just because the eye color, I think.
So the effects go through it, but not the eyes.
Yeah, and I think.
Was there a render order for those?
The render order on the effect is 2. I have them at 2. But I have the heads all at 0.
So they always render first.
Yeah. And I think that like if I and I was being too lazy. I think though that the face effect should go at the first.
No, yeah. So that rendered into the hat would be
Yeah.
the last thing to render.
Yeah. So, but I was just being like really quick last night. But you really have to kind of like get the render order correct when you're actually making the effect.
So it doesn't go through some machine.
Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of have to like trial and error until you get it right. Sometimes, if you have a lot of different things that depend on the order. And then so we go back to the controller. We have the hat how we want it. But now we want to change the logo. Turn it off. There's no logo. We say show hat logo. It's there. Right now it says yay. And again, we can switch it with the team logo. Textures, team logo. And so now it's on there. We can change the blend mode to like normal if you want. But I think screen looks the best in this case, since they're both black, it blends in better. You can do multiply, which kind of like multiplies the black with the black pretty much. And then screen kind of just says, I'm going to let the layer pass through. And since it was all one color, the black was able to pass through.
What's going on in your background where you can see a second view?
Oh, that's that screen.
Oh, okay.
It'd be cool if that got a hat on it too, like a bunch of hats start popping up.
Heads 1 and 2 are for people that are standing next to you, right?
Yeah. When it's inside of the scene view, it looks like that. But yeah.
No.
So if you want to, you can change the size of the logo on the hat, or not that one, but. So if you want to change the logo of that hat, you just change it to maybe 1 or something. Now it's a lot bigger. And then down to 0, now it's going to be really small. But I think 0.8 was about right with how like the actual hat looked. You can change the offset of it, so if you want to make it to the right or the left. And that's another thing you can do. So now we have that in there. So we have it almost there. If you want, you can enable your face logo, if you'd like. And so you can have it there. And if you do that, maybe you want to say, I don't want the face paint. So it's like, yeah, exactly. But so you can say, I don't want the face paint. And
Does it manipulate the face mesh to match what it sees?
exactly, yeah.
So it actually lines up to your eye?
Yep. But I don't like I'm not a big fan of the face logo, so I'm turning it off. Then the next thing you want to do, pretty much one of the final things, is going to be confetti. So if we want to do the confetti, we can enable it. And I have it right now with the trigger. So if I don't want the trigger, I can have it always playing. I'm just going to turn the trigger off for now. So you can kind of dial in the intensity you want. If you want it really intense, like a bunch of confetti, like right now, have it at 1. If you want it really subtle amount, maybe like 0.01. And you're barely going to be able to notice it dropping at all. But I think about 0.5 is pretty good. 0.5, 0.6, pretty solid. Then you can do a trigger. I'm doing mouth open. You can do face found as well. So if I get out of the screen and I come back in, it starts to go. But I like mouth open. As far as the actual triggers you can use, when you go to their stuff, it's on scripting. They have scripting hints, and then that, and there's also reference API. events. Yeah, so then the events show you, you have like browse, lowered event, browse raised, KISS started, late update. Anyone that's done like game development, they know what like all these different things might be doing. They have a late update, they also have an update event. So the late updates after everything's like been rendered or whatever it is.
So do you copy the script or do you import it or what do you do?
What do you say?
You copy the actual code or do you import the?
No, like as an example of it, like I had to make the custom events at the bottom, so I had to like had to make the actual value of it. And so when you do it, you can say like create event with the trigger you want, and you bind it to some event, or to some function. So that's pretty much all. But you just kind of like it's like using any other kind of API. But this is just the class, the name of it. And they have hints as well. Hints are like anyone that's ever seen it, it says like find face. They have a script for that as well, but it shows you them all, like blow a kiss, come closer, do not try with a friend. So now that we have the confetti kind of doing what we want, we can do our final part, which is audio. So to do that, we're going to go to add new, import files, and the audio we want to use is it's this audio right here, footballcrowd.mp3. And I already have it on my computer. So I'm going to bring it in. And where did it go? Right down here. So I'm going to go create a folder for it as well. Say add new folder. Double click it, or you can say right click, rename. I'm going to call it sounds. I'm going to drag that to it. Then at the bottom, I'm going to go and enable the sound. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. So I'm going to enable the sound at the bottom with the checkbox, and you see these other boxes pop up. Audio track, I'm going to go ahead and select that from sounds. Football Crowd. I can turn it off, or turn it on. And I can make it loop, or not loop. I can turn the volume down. Or I can turn it up.
Is it very traditional looping from the start of the audio track to the end?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so the audio file, it's like a 10-second loop that I have of it, and it's an MP3, and it's mono. And just so that you can see, you can use audio in it as well.
Wait, all the UI on this is commented out?
No,
All
well
the
actually, so yeah, if you look at the code. Yeah, so that's actually how you do. That's actually how you do custom script UI. So custom UI can be used to control how your script properties appear. So you define your input with a comment. So you see at the top, I have input vec4 primary color. Then over here, I have vec4 primary color.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy that they do it like that, but it shows you do it like that. I guess so. It's a comma. It's a comment plus the that @ symbol.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Slash UI.
Yeah. And
Yeah, because they wouldn't compile as JavaScript.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah. But it's an interesting way that they do have it going. So we have the audio in there as well now. So we pretty much have the filter got done. Now the final thing we want to be doing, that we have it all finished, is we want to go. You can go to project info. You can change the name of it. So you can change it to Austin FC or whatever it is. My lens. Something like that. You see that the size of it's about 3.2 megabytes, which is a bit big, but it's because we have this this hat in there. That model was by itself 1.3 megabytes, so it took up a bunch of space. You can do how the lens works. This lens, we only want it to work on the front camera, so we're going to change it to only front camera. The hint, we can say what kind of hint happens when the lens is activated. So I'm going to say find face, because that's what needs to happen. You're going to find the face. We can change it to whatever you want, but it should be what the actual trigger is. And then finally, we can choose our icon. So every lens must have an icon, and it needs to be a square image, no smaller than 320 by 320. So to choose your icon, I actually uploaded it to the drive. It's this icon.png. And then the Illustrator file that I used to create it is also there. but you're going to go to choose the image you want, and when you upload it, it's there. And when you say apply, now it's there, and it's loaded in the project info. And then before you submit it, which is right here, submit lens, before you submit it, you need to always do optimize project. When you say optimize project, it says, this action cannot be undone, so, think about it before you do it, because it's going to remove stuff. And it says right here, remove all resources, remove scripts, whatever it is. So when I say optimize, it's going to go through it. It's going to say that it removed 3 unused resources, removes 0 disabled objects, and 0 empty folders. So it just removes some of the unused resources. So you want to do that to clean it up at the end. And then when you finally submit it, you would just go and submit. And you have to fill out this brief introduction. You have to log in. So I don't know what it is, but you fill out the information, like the description of the thing, and some more information as well. But it's really straightforward. Then it will go live when you tell it to. So that's
Is that open to the public? Anybody can find it, or do you have to share it with code?
Yeah. So when you share it, you have to share it with a snap code.
Okay.
And the snap code is nice though, because it's like this is an illustration of it. So we'll see it again. So basically, you see it right there. So basically, you saw from your phone. They saw it on there, so he scanned it as like a QR code. Then it pops up and he says unlock for 24 hours. So that's one of the ways to share it. But you can also share it if you post to your feed and say like swipe up to unlock it. But the snap code is when you want to do it outside of it.
Can anyone in Snapchat do swipe?
What?
Can anyone in Snapchat do swipe now?
Yeah,
Or
anyone
maybe
can.
like verified or something.
Yeah, no, anyone can do it, and it's nice. That's one of the good ways to do it. So if you're a popular person on Snapchat, you want to show your new Swimming the Panda to everybody, you can do it like that. And you can also send it to a friend.
What's swipe? Is that like a fancy feature?
Yeah.
Well, in in Instagram, if you're verified, you can actually put a URL in there that you can swipe up to open. But you have to be verified, I think, in Instagram.
So anyone can do it in Snap. It's crazy.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram, they don't let you just any schlub do it. You have to go through a process to prove that you're worthy of sharing URLs.
Yeah. So we went through this one, and it was kind of like basic, but if you all do other things on your own, like just close the home, you see that you have templates on the right-hand side. You can select the ones you want. You can select whatever it is. Like maybe you want to do like a portal into another world, or you want to do a trigger, or you want to do a photo, like a photo effect. You can do all those things, and they're really easy and really nice to follow along. So when you go to the lenstudio.snapchat.com, in the templates section, they have their beginner ones, the ones you want to start with. They also have face ones, like face paint. So then it kind of has a good tutorial. And they're all pretty short. This is a 4-minute one, so they're really good to go through. Like the first day I was using it, I went through all the tutorials that they had and learned how to really use it.
You can add the scripts to the templates then?
Yeah, and honestly, so the scripts themselves, I made those scripts so it could easily drag and drop stuff. But if you didn't do that, one of them, this photo one's not gonna have a script. It shouldn't have a script. Yeah, see, it's just a photo, and we can change this face mask to, you can kind of drag it around and kind of distort it a bunch.
Is that face mask a native effect?
Yeah, this is the native, actually this one, they have a native one. This isn't the native one. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to turn that one off. And I'll show you what the native one looks like. It looks like a clown face, it used to look like a clown face, the old version. But now it looks like an Android type of background. So that's pretty cool. You can quickly add things, like you want to add a billboard effect. You can add a billboard, which means you can add hey, see you later, man. You can add an image to it, so you can say I want to use that image. You can also do another really cool thing. You can do a post effect. So if you use Photoshop and stuff, you can create a post effect with it. And so you want to have a certain kind of look to it, like an overlay, like a Kodak style filter. You could do that. But you can, even if you want to get a more granular level and you're good at programming, see man, you can actually edit the actual shader itself. So on their they mentioned that you can edit the actual shaders. So the shaders have their base textures, they have opacity or whatever. So if you want to make some really crazy filter, where it's like really all kinds of stuff going on in the world, the colors and stuff, you can do it with a shader. I haven't done that before, but you can do it. But yeah, like so basically, if you just play around with the stuff, do a liquify, you can see that. Where is it attached to? Face liquify. All right, so you see that the liquify gives you that like bug eye effect. So when we do that one, we mess around with it. We can have it like that. Just do crazy things with it. And then like you can combine it with stuff like if you want to say combine it with that face inset. You can start doing weird things with it. But it's really just kind of like playing around with it until you kind of get something you like. Now it's like a green lips. I don't know why, but you can really make some really interesting things. Then maybe a face stretch, and if you stretch the face out, we can kind of do weird things with it like that as well. And so this is kind of how people make that. Like, if you go look at their examples, like one of the good ones. So they have their challenges. One of the good ones from the past, I think, was this like it's called Base Boost. Yeah, but all these ones you see that there's different things happening, and like you can get a good, like once you kind of start to use it, you know what they're doing. Like this person used that template, this to do that. I think that one, the person used this space and picture template to make this one. So like there's nothing wrong with starting from a template, but you can do all these different ones and get inspiration from wherever you want. I think this person has like, it's almost a game, yeah.
Oh, wow. So
you can make games. Like I did a Mario Kart, not a Mario Kart, I did a Mario and like Wario type of a filter once in the past. It was like a simple kind of quick game. But yeah, you can actually do games with it. It's hard to do it though because no text, so you have to do images. But it's really cool things you can do. They have challenges they offer, I think like once every like quarter basically. So this one was like Superman flying to a new portal. And you saw that this one was, they probably used this template to start with, a window to another world. And then again, there's nothing wrong with doing that though.
And the scripts used for the portal, they're all beautifully commented. There's not no guesswork.
For the most part, yeah. Like this one's only 78 lines. So it's not like it's some huge behemoth of a script. It's
they can just put their own art assets in it.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, like if you're the developer, it's really easy for you. But if you're doing it all, you have to kind of get it all. But if you're the developer, you say you have your designers, your artists, they're the ones creating the whole PBR, like that. And so it's really nice. Yeah.
Can you download anybody's?
What'd you say?
Can you download anybody's filter into here and see their source code?
No, you can't see their source code, sadly. That'd be really cool. But you can unlock it, like scan snap codes to unlock. But the source code, you can see the source code of
on their templates.
All the templates, exactly. That's about it. Yeah. But then another cool thing that was like Facebook's, like so you can see kind of how Facebook's docs look.
And you said that's going to become Instagram's filters?
Yeah, so here on it they have it, and so they have some more stuff in it. They have other templates, in it, like separating people from backgrounds, what I was like speaking about earlier. So they have also the same things. And then as far as the Instagram thing, though, they have it. Yeah, can I submit my effects to Instagram or Messenger? It's currently in a closed beta, so if you want to get it, you have to be a select partner. And I'm not a select partner, so I don't have it. But again, it's the same kind of thing. The tutorials that they have are pretty nice.
Thank you. Great job, guys.
See ya.
Keep up the good work.
Awesome.
Yeah, the tutorials that they have, they were pretty nice, but they're usually a little bit longer than the AR Studio or the Lens Studio ones. But again, though, they're just as good, and they're really good to look at. They're really good to go through it. Like this one's adding a hand tracker, and it's 5 minutes long, and yeah, the baseball attached to your hand. Really simple. So yeah, really cool stuff. I'm glad you guys came. You guys have any questions? Awesome. Yeah, well, definitely glad you guys came. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. If you were making a game using Unity and you want to use at least one code you want to for the base to code code, what would be your way of going?
You are?
I'd either use ARKit or ARPort.
Well, then, what's your other
And I'll show you real quick. ARKit base tracking has it in there. So like on the documentation it says like creating a face-to-face AR experience.
I'm just not sure.
So it's like this one's gonna be a simple robot character. They don't have an example of it.
Like right now, there's already a trio filter. You know,
A robot character, facial expressions. That should be.
we won't be
So you upload the person we want and stuff. But, yeah.
only share. So if we post a picture of this QR snap, then it's fine.
I mean, if you publish it, it'll.
Oh,
Yeah.
live?
Not
You can make your eyebrows greater than
Something.
Was that
You wanna come to the office this week and work on anything?
Like, no,
Bring your MacBook? We'll get creative.
I hope you're not joking.
Oh, I got it. No worries.
yeah.
That's serious.
Yeah, of course.
I just couldn't tell how intense. I thought you would be.
Beer cafe?
So, VR Cafe we try to do every month. If you go on the Capital Factory /events, check out all the events that we have going on. We have meetups every night that are tech related. So you can find stuff that are gaming, you can find ed tech stuff, and then you can find some VR stuff. This is the main VR one that happens.
Yes.
That has the presentation
And then
that
there's a ton of other meetups that go on every day. So, we get
You want to be more. We're gonna make a good team, you know that?
I would have to. Yeah.
I don't want to. That team.
I don't mind.
I want to be one level.
Oh, yeah. Reach out to them if you need anything else. Reach out to me. Just say bye to them.
So you guys need to help me with that as much as I can. Of course, sir. See you.
Dude, did you get your?
Thank you very much.
Hold on.
So you can preview it if you want.
No, I look at my.
You got it working?
I got a little story.
Oh, dude, fuck.
It's amazing.
So.
That's so sad.
No,
I'm gonna save it that image and then post it.
we were just talking about once we get laptops that have a little bit more horsepower to actually, because my laptop work off of the
Yeah.
We might do one for the office. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sweet.
But more stuff like this happens and other subject matters decently often.
Yeah.
Are you asking if
The VR cafe and stuff?
VR cafes are just, I know, well,
Yeah.
see, they talk about this stuff at our job all the time, but we don't get hands-on. So coming here,
Yeah.
For specifically air here.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
all the random tech stuff that you guys do is literally like your buzzwords or our buzzwords.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not to call them buzzwords, because this is actually cool stuff.
That's all.
Yeah, so this one, like, I wanted to make sure this was a tutorial, but some other good ones would be like if you want to play games, also virtually, you can play the actual games. Then there's a meetup that, I have another meetup that I do, it's VR 360 video in Austin. That's a good one, and then there's also Austin Virtual, or Austin VR, right, or VR Austin.
VR Austin.
Yeah. So there's like 4 other good ones. They're all, you'll be able to find them on the,
Are they on Meetup or
Yeah.
on?
I found them on
Can you
Meetup,
check
yeah.
the,
exactly, meetups.com, and then also the Capital Factory.
You could just go to, Capital Factory.
Yeah, I've been.
That'll have all your stuff. But VR Austin's not related with us, so you'd have to just go to their meetup or Facebook page. And they're, for networking with this community, that's probably the best.
VR Austin, yeah.
Just
You're awesome.
VR Austin has one coming up,
Yeah, it always.
it might be this week, or it'll be like in the next couple weeks.
Good.
Yeah, no, I know that I wanna take the initiative and get us more involved in the community, especially because I wanna get ramped up before South by.
Oh, yeah.
Cause we do a lot of stuff that we, like, cool stuff at South by, so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know the,
I mean,
the
yeah.
center like at the hotel, or the Fjord Center or something.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
Fjord,
yeah,
Fjord,
check it out.
this, we didn't, it's
Wait.
funny, cause I actually met that guy last week, but it's like, I would never guess another essential person would have showed up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Was he Fjord?
He's
He
Fjord.
said Chaotic Community.
so I said Chaotic Moon, was acquired by Accenture, and we put them into Fjord,
I
which
feel like
is.
I feel like I met the guy before.
Yeah, I think he's a Chris.
Yeah, I feel like I met him.
I literally had like a headset AR demo from him last Friday, so
Really?
it's just fun to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Fjord office, so.
That's cool. Yeah, where is the Fjord office?
Do you know what the elephant room is?
Yeah.
It's literally right next door to the elephant.
Oh, it was Chaotic Community.
Yeah, that's the office.
Oh, okay.
So that is now Accenture.
Yeah. I wanna go check it out.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I can hook you up with a tour.
Yeah.
Go sometime.
Yeah.
Take you out happy hour afterwards. So. But you know, Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we should go to the contact info.
We were in fraternity together.
Yeah.
Oh,
we go way back.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Sorry.
What school? Which college?
UT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What school did you go to?
Technically Rutgers University of New Jersey. I took some transfer credit from UNT.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Did you go to UT too?
No, I went to school in Georgia.
I went to Emory.
Oh, cool.
So. And you went to Indiana? I don't know, correctly?
Kelly or?
I did computer science. I was doing Kelly at first, but then I switched to computer science my sophomore year.
What is Kelly like?
Business
So it's still
school,
business school,
yeah.
yeah.
To Bloomington or?
Bloomington, exactly, yeah. It was fun. Fun time.
Their campus.
Yeah. You been?
Yeah.
Oh.
Grandparents live in Indianapolis.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was
yeah.
almost going to go.
Yeah, that one's amazing. The Bloomington campus is incredible.
All right, well, we should head out. No. Well, do you have more work to do tonight?
Not really.
I do.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah, I wish I had homework.
Work never stops.
Where'd you get that backpack?
I got this. I spent a decent amount of time in a mall in LA, hopping between stores looking at backpacks.
Really?
So,
I haven't heard that in a while. Spent a lot of time in the mall. Yeah.
I wanted to like
Feel it.
feel it and like try them on.
If you want Amazon, it's
I wasn't
too
having
small.
I wasn't having any luck online, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, that's the idea. AR will allow me to have more of an experience of things without having to leave my home rather than just looking at an image.
Pitch that to people.
IKEA. Have you all used IKEA playset?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's like.
Yeah, it's pretty
Places.
solid.
There's a
Oh.
BMW visualizer.
Yeah, it's solid. It's a good one. I think it's pretty good.
I
Phones like that.
haven't played with IKEA's, no.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Who's birds work for Accenture? Does birds?
He used to. When I check on, he shows up as like, and I think he might have interned with them.
Yeah. Maybe in Dallas.
Yeah, not here. Yeah, because I checked on LinkedIn, and he wasn't at Accenture, but when I searched Accenture, he popped up.
Yeah.
So I assume it was like
Yeah.
Whatever, but like I have it installed, but it has that cloud next to it, so it has to update. It's
Yep.
stupid, but it's basically what it looks like. You scan the object you want, and you place, you select it. Like that's all you get to share. It pops up in the room. Yeah, so you can like look at a background or something like that. It's pretty solid. But yeah.
Yeah, we're still in the first generation of these things, so
Yeah, they're gonna get a lot better.
a lot better.
It will. And eventually, hopefully, it'll be, like, figure out the HUD, like, you're seeing everything, and they're really cool.
One,
Yeah, 20, 30 years in the future.
yeah, I was gonna say, that's not in the immediate
No,
time.
not yet, no.
I'm sure you're just gonna put a chip in my eyeball.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool too, so.
Run off
Kinda
all
scary.
electricity.
Yeah.
Just like a contact lens.
Yeah,
I like using like a web shooter, have a
Yeah.
web app that just get around my hand.
Yeah.
No, actually combine it with Google Glasses, have like a button on your wrist, and Google Glasses would probably give a menu around your hand.
Yeah, those ones are pretty decent, but it's just still not there, mainly because like the FOV, field of view, is just like that, so it's like, you can't really do anything, it's turn your entire head. And
I'm trying to
it's not
think
right.
of things that aren't light source dependent, because AR needs
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
good light source in order for it to work properly. Just stinks.
That's what they were trying to, that's like a big issue they're trying to figure out. Like Magic Leap was experimenting, that's what took them so long, they were trying to like,
But
the
there's
perfect
still
solution.
doors.
No, I know.
Some stuff out to it.
Yeah, I when he said that they purchased the Magic Leap, I'm like, I am gonna be coming and visiting your office.
Oh,
the
yeah,
second that
okay,
it
cool.
gets
Dude,
available.
okay.
I also imagine that there's gonna be a long
Yeah.
waiting list to get on,
Yeah.
they're not gonna just.
I don't know, I
I
think it's possible.
have to start kissing whoever's ass
Yeah.
actually was the one who ordered it
Yeah.
now. So in 2 months when it finally shows up, I'll be on the short list of
Yeah.
try it first. But Magic Leap's supposed to be like taking it from this first generation to second generation.
They're really good.
Magic Leap's like an AR headset.
See, it's not them that I trust. It's
like the HoloLens? Or the
this
Google
is
Glass?
it comes with a caveat. It's the people people who invested in them. So it's all
Yeah.
the VC money that's the amount of VC money that has followed them, not so much what the VCers actually say themselves. The amount of money that they put in makes me believe that it's actually.
Yeah.
It should be incredible, but it's just not there yet. Oh, it's they open up more new projects.
So, I'm trying to think of educational game topics to put on like current gen AR, and it's very, very difficult. I can imagine like maybe something WarioWare related, WarioWare with face AR, but that's just a game.
Lens
right?
Studio is
There's no
actually pretty
educational
easy.
value.
Yeah, I made a WarioWare filter for Snapchat once.
Yeah.
I made a WarioWare filter for Snapchat once.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
I'm talking about
Yeah.
making a WarioWare game.
Yeah, it
using-
was a game. It was
Oh, okay.
a style game. You had to match up the
the
hat and the mustache and stuff.
Yes,
the
we
regular
do. I got it.
race, you had to get
Okay.
the perfect race.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, what's up, Brandon?
So I was about to give a couple slices to the custodian
Oh,
dude.
I just kind of